Future Dana here. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, and you can help us out by sharing the channel and clicking the subscribe button. And when we reach 10,000, we're going to do a giveaway. So if you want to know what that's about, help us out. Hi, Dana here. Welcome to Solar and Create. I'm glad you joined us today. And I'm going to be doing, the project we're doing today is a small mini composition book cover. And if you want to see more of my journal covers that I've done in the past, I'll be doing a playlist for all those videos. So let's get started. For today's project, the mini composition journal cover, you're going to need the following supplies. You're going to need a front fabric that is 5.5 by 7.5. You're going to need the same size for your lining, and that can be a muslin or just something that you're not really going to see it, so it doesn't really matter what kind of fabric it is. 5.5 by 7.5 on that. Then you're going to need 2 ends for the inside, and those need to be 4 inches by 5.5, and you need 2 of those. And I'll put all the sizes in the description. And then for however you want to decorate your front of your cover, you're going to need some kind of embellishment, either a button, a piece of fabric, and I did a stamped piece on several of mine, and then this one I just did a button with some lace, and whatever you want to embellish it with. If you want to know how to do the stamped fabric, I will link in the description how I go into detail about how to do that and make it a little more permanent. So then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our side pieces that go inside, and we're going to fold them in half, what I call hot dog style, and we're going to press those. And I forgot to mention, the other thing you will need, of course, is your mini composition book. And I get mine at Dollar Tree. They come 3 to a pack. There's 2 black, I think, in this pack, and then 1 purple. But you really won't see this cover, so it doesn't really matter what color it is once you get your cover done. So then the next thing, after we get our sides pressed, before we go to the machine, we're going to take our front piece and we're going to fold it in half. And I'm going to press that so I can see where that fold is. And if I'm going to stitch any kind of embellishment on the front here, I want to position that now. But I need to remember that I'm going to have about 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I don't want to center it based on this. I want to scoot it towards the center just a little bit more. And I usually put my finger there because that's kind of just off the edge, and that's about what my seam allowance will be, and you can just kind of adjust it from there. And the size of your little fabric pieces can be whatever you think looks good. And then I'm going to put my stamped piece this way, but I am going to add a lace bow at the top, so I'm going to put my love just a little bit lower. And I am going to pin that in place. So when we go to the machine, we're going to top stitch our 2 end pieces right across that fold, and then we're going to stitch our front pieces in place. So let's go to the machine. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to top stitch on the folded side of our end pieces. And to top stitch, remember, is a little bit more narrow than your seam allowance. So I'm going to use the inside edge of my foot as my guide. And I'm just going all the way across. And to save a little bit of time and thread, I'm going to put my second one, again with my folded edge, go all the way off the first piece, raise my presser foot, and insert my second one and chain piece these together. And now those are top stitched. So I'm going to set those to the side. then I'm going to take and open up my cover because I want to stitch these two pieces down. Now I want to stitch the bottom one and then do my top one. So I'm going to just kind of fold that back a little bit, start here on the side. And again, I want this to be narrow, and I'm doing raw edge applique, so this will fray over time, but I like that look. And I'm just going to start and go all the way around on the purple one. When you come to that corner, be sure you leave your needle down, lift your presser foot, rotate your project, then put your presser foot back down, and that keeps everything in line. Then when I come back this way, I'm just going to take this stamped piece and kind of roll it back a little bit and keep going. And then I'm going to cross this stitching just a little bit and back stitch to lock it all in place. And then I'm just going to kind of reposition my love here. And remember, I'm putting mine towards the bottom because I'm going to put my lace bow at the top. Make sure I open it back up. And I'm going to start at the bottom of my saying right here and go all the way around. And again, when I come back, I'm going to cross that stitching and back stitch. Now we'll go back to the mat for the next step. Now I'm going to cut my end pieces apart, and you see I only have that little bitty piece of thread there. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to put my folded edge that I stitched in the middle, line up my raw edges, and my cover is facing up. I'm going to do that with both sides. You could base those in place if you wanted to, but I'm just going to, this is such a small project, I think I can clip it and it'll be fine. Then I'm going to take my lining, my inside piece, and place that on top. If you have a lining that has like a print on it, like if you were using the same fabric, you would want that to be pretty side down, or face side down, the wrong side up. Then I'm going to use my red and green clip method because we're going to leave a small opening down here at the bottom to turn. So I'm going to put my green clip where I'm going to start and my red clip where I'm going to stop my stitching and leave just a little bitty opening here to turn it. And then I'm going to clip it all the way around, and I want to make sure that I get the sides clipped well so they don't move on me. And when we go to the machine, we're going to start at our green clip, stitch all the way around, and stop at our red, leaving this small opening. So let's go to the machine. Now we're going to start right here at our green clip. So I'm going to take that off and put it in the machine. And this time, since we are putting our project together, we're going to use the outside edge, or our full width of seam allowance. And then we're going to go all the way around. Again, when I get to the corner, I'm going to leave my needle down, lift my presser foot, rotate the project, and then keep going. And remember, I'm going to stop here at my red clip, so I'm going to take that clip off and leave my finger there to remind myself to stop. And I'm going to back stitch right there. Then what I like to do is I like to flip my project over and make sure that I caught all my fabric in the right place. So we'll go back to the mat for the next step. Before we turn our project, I'm going to clip the corners on the diagonal, and I just want to reduce that bulk but I want to make sure that I don't get anywhere close to my stitching because you don't want to cut your stitching. So I'm going to clip all 4 corners. Then I'm going to turn it right side out. And I'm going to use my chopstick to make sure I can get those corners turned out nicely. Then I'm going to take my ends and I'm going to invert them so that they're in the proper place. So now they're on the inside of my book cover. Then if you need to go back in and use your chopstick to poke those corners out, you would do that at this time. Then I'm going to iron it so that everything is nice and flat. I like to iron both sides. And I want to make sure that when I'm ironing down here at our opening, that fabric is turned in. So when I stitch that, then it will look nice. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my notebook and I'm going to make sure that it will fit. And it does. And it is a little loose, but that's okay because it gives a little bit of play. If your journal, sometimes these journals are not all the same size in the package, so it does give you a little bit of room. Now the last thing that we need to do is we need to close this opening. And you can either stitch it by hand or I'm going to just take it back to the machine and stitch it closed because you really won't see it right here at the bottom. But you could hand stitch it if you prefer that look. So we'll go back to the machine and close the opening. Now we're going to stitch this opening closed, and I have started just above where the opening starts, and I am going as close to that edge as I comfortably can sew. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to go just past where the end of that opening is. And I'm going to back stitch just a little bit. And now our opening is closed. So we'll go back to the mat and add our embellishment. Now I'm going to reinsert my book. And then the last thing I'm going to do on mine is I'm going to add a bow right here at the top out of this kind of seam binding lace. So I always make my bow and then cut it. But you could always cut your ribbon and then tie it however you prefer. My fingers still work. There we go. And I usually like to pull mine tight so that the knot in the middle is fairly small, and then adjust from there. And then before I cut it, I can kind of judge if I want it that size or make it just a little bit smaller, and then how long I want my tails to be. And you know, anytime you make a bow, you kind of have to fiddle with it a little bit. I kind of like that. And I'm going to make my tails just a little bit long on this one. So I'm going to cut it right here, straight. And then I want the pointed tail, so I'm going to fold my lace in half. And then I want my points on the outside, so I'm going to start from there and then cut a diagonal. And that, of course, makes your pointed tails. So then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Trim it up just a little bit. Fold it, start from this corner that I want to be my point, and cut a diagonal from there. And then I'm just going to glue this bow on. You could hand sew it on if you wanted to, but for me, I'm just going to glue it. And I'm using Aleene's tacky glue, but you could use Elmer's glue. It would work just as well, probably. And then I'm going to just let that dry. Put my threads here. Let that dry, and our journal cover is complete. And if you make, since you get 3 in a package, you could make these. These make great gifts for friends, Bible study groups, quilting groups, any kind of ladies group that you have would love these because they fit in a purse or a back, a bag of some kind really well. And then you always have a notebook. So our project is complete. I hope you liked today's project, the mini composition book cover. And remember, if you like what we do here, be sure you subscribe and click that bell notification so you're notified when we do new videos. So, see you in the next one.